Hey everyone, today I want to talk about creating your own personal memory system that works with any agent and purely with local models and nothing goes outside your system. Created some custom tooling, specifically the slash summarize skill or command which I explicitly invoke after every session, plus a CLI memory tool for the agent. I call it Sift because it sifts through all my session summaries for the memory. First of all, why you should have your own memory layer. I think the general purpose agents are already really good. Cloud Code, Codex, and so on. The harness plus the LLM both. The context graph and the memory management. I think that's the most critical for the overall agent harness success on for your project. And as you keep working on the project, the context accumulates. If we create better systems for agent to be able to explore, more efficient plus cost efficient also, then it really helps in the overall outcomes that the agent provides. The other thing is that while grepping or opening files and reading Cloud Code CLI and Codex CLI, all CLI agents are really good. But they waste a lot of tokens, and with the models becoming expensive, there is opportunity to provide some kind of search system, store memory search systems, and so on. And that's why I felt we can improve on having a memory system which is searchable for the agent. And the other thing is that it's very established fact that by Codex or by coding agents that your folder, as much as it remains the source of truth for context, the agent accuracy improves over time. And these were some of the reasons why I felt having a personal memory system for any agent with purely local models will be very helpful for me. I will talk about two things. One is memory creation flow and the other memory retrieval. And then I'll conclude. So first, let me start with memory creation flow. If you look at any of my projects, they're usually these in this format. So I use compound engineering plugin with some of my own custom tooling. So I have this a lot of actual files, and then I have this context in the docs folder, which has brainstorms, plans, and so on. But I also have this sessions, which is basically after every session, this sessions folder stores the session memory, and that essentially I explicitly invoke using my slash summarize skill, where it basically follows a pattern to structurally create a summary out of it and the key important points of the current session and store it in this folder. And then finally, I have this Sift tool that I have created, CLI, and we know that agents are really good at using CLI based tools. So I have this Sift CLI that is created. This essentially creates a searching systems over this all the session memories. So what it does is it provides a hybrid search system. So backed by a SQLite DB that is stored locally. It provides you to do keyword search, which is full text search using the TF-IDF or BM25 ranking. I also create vector indexes so that you can do semantic search as well. And this is using the embedding gamma model. So this is the embedding gamma model, 300M parameters, and this has the corpus of text as well as code. So it's really good, and I use it with Olama. No API calls for any kind of embeddings. It's properly stored locally, and use the SQLite vector plugin that is available. What it does is it actually provides this kind of an interface of, you can say, CLI based tools to the agent, and the agent can do then during indexing when the session memory files are created using slash summarize, it will simply call the Sift index Sift embed. So this will actually do the keyword indexing as well as the vector based embedding. Both of these are stored, and with every new session memory created, it is automatically done. So let me show you how it works. So this is my ghosty terminal. So you can see here, this is the summarize skill slash command I have, there are different ways to invoke. And what it does is that it essentially creates, whenever I do slash summarize, it creates a structured memory and save it to docs sessions. I'll be open sourcing all of this, so you don't have to note it down. And it defines the directory target, defines the structure that it needs to create. And these are basically markdown files, the file name, what will be there in the front matter and what will be there in the details, everything is noted down. And this is the kind of structure finally created. Date, title. This short summary is really helpful when the keyword search, because it takes the key items that was done and is a primary like a keyword search target. And then there is a detailed summary. And then finally, when this summary is created, I actually index and embed this new session. So essentially what it does is, when it stores, then it automatically calls this tool sift index and sift embed. And then, as we discussed, both the indexing are created and you are ready for searching over this memory in future. And if the both commands succeed, that essentially you have the full memory or the context of the session stored and available for the agent for simply doing a hybrid search. And that's the agent creation, memory creation format. So basically what I do is, at the end of the session, I typically do like a slash summarize, and this essentially saves whatever conversation that I've had till now. So this is about memory creation. And if you see here, so let's do this. Let's call my sift CLI tool, and if I do sift list, right now I'm in the my GitHub repo of agent skills, and it has a lot of my memories from the how I built these skills and so on. So if I do sift list, this lists down all the sessions that are there, session files that were indexed. I can also do, if I do sift index, right now there is nothing new, so it has indexed already 5 sessions. And similarly, if I do sift embed, all the sessions are already embedded. 35 embeddings chunks were created out of this, and all of this are already saved. Now, interesting thing is, if I have to just give a preempt of how it works, I can do sift search, and I can say which local embedding model I had used in sift tool, and then it starts doing the hybrid search, and it will start doing keyword as well as the semantic search, and essentially figure out which chunks to retrieve. And this is something not built for human but for agent. So you can see this was the query, you did hybrid, and these are the chunks and sessions that it has retrieved. And now the agent has full context of I'm using this embedding gamma latest with the Olama endpoint, and this is what I'm using. So it returned like 5 chunks, and these chunks are available for the agent to do further digging and so on. And this did not consume any tokens. It's simply the agent has this whole hybrid search as a tool that is available to it. Now let's go to retrieval. So I already gave you a glimpse of it, but how it works is that first, to set up the system, I have added these instructions in the agents.md. So let me show you the agents.md file. Yeah, so this is my codex agent.md file, and you can see here that I've given it the instruction that you have access to these tools. Searching through the session summaries, you can get a specific file, you can list the recent sessions, you can get this. You can also do slash summarize to write the current sessions memory, and use sift search like proactively. So whenever I talk about what have we done till now, what have we discussed, and some specific things which are stored in the previous session, so it will do like sift search, and then essentially it has access to that context, and it can basically answer this. So this is like I've added here. And the only thing I ensure is that whenever I end a session, before I end, I do like a slash summarize. Right now it's manual because there's no hook which tells when the user is going to end the session, but I do this slash summarize, and my session is saved and indexed. For searching, it basically, the agent has all the tools available like Swift search, which does expose the full hybrid search. So let me show you how this works. So let's say I open a totally empty codex session. And I'm going to try this some queries which basically allows it to go and search through, use these CLI tools and search through. So let's say I'm asking it which embedding model that we decided to use. This is obviously not discussed in the new session. It has to be stored somewhere in the past, and because I have made it part of agents.md, it is already available. The agents understand that this is the tool that they run, Swift search embedding model, and now it is doing more specific search like this Swift get. This is the file that it is opening. Because the agents does agentic search, so it keeps searching for, it's now listing all the sessions and search for embedding gamma. So till now 4 tool calls it has done to my Swift CLI, and finally it is with not much tokens burnt, because it did not have to go through all the memories and explore. I provided it the search list and all the tools. It is basically able to decide that yes, I used embedding gamma latest model, which is available with Olama running locally. So if you see here, yeah, so this is the model embedding gamma latest running locally. So you're in, we are not calling it, no data ever reaches any servers and everything, for indexing and so on, at least, and it was able to tell even like which session summary that I decided. And let's try something else. This is hard, like what are the key features we have built till now. So it will do like a lot of tool calls, because it has to now go and search. That context is not available easily, but at least instead of exploring files and grepping and opening, it is able to call these tools, and it is able to understand from the short summaries that we had that these were the things that were built, and it is basically much less token intensive than it is. So overall, this is the kind of hybrid search system that I have created, working with /summarize skill. And I just want to say that with the general purpose agents are so good that your own context graph and your memory is the most important thing, and how do you expose it to your agents is also very important, and in a more token efficient manner. So this is the way I want to expose my information, my context, my session memory graph to the coding agents, and so that it's token efficient. And right now these are just 6 sessions, but in some of the projects I've had like most to 100 sessions, and it becomes really hard for the agent to continuously explore and so on. And that's how we optimize for the context window. All of this I'll be opening up open source in my agent skills repo, and where I'm building my own skills, tooling, and kind of system that I'm building. And everyone will have access to this tool. Thank you.